And people should be able to hear us. Go
All
ahead,
right,
give me that
hello
green
everyone.
bar check. Check
Hello.
out that stream for me.
Yeah, Jamie, how is it?
How is it? Can you hear yourself?
Yes, I can.
Cool. All right, no boomer stream today.
We're doing good.
We're doing all right so far. Doing all right.
Will it
Uh,
count as a boomer stream if your internet shits out?
uh, no, because that's an internet thing. That's not actually a boomer thing. I have gigabits, so.
Or water cooler? All right, we already have some questions in the chat here. Where water cooler? It's in the other room.
It's staying cool.
All right. Anyway, who the hell are you?
Who am I? Who are you?
Yes.
I am Matthew Garcia, the host for this Pass Assault here podcast. Whatever we do every Saturday at 1 p.m. Arizona time, which is
You do that conversion. We're currently on Mountain.
oh, I don't.
Okay.
I couldn't figure out how to mute myself. I was.
Okay.
I apologize to all that. Feels bad. But thank you for the participation in chat, Razgrees. Razgrizzle. But hey, while you're there, go ahead and hit subscribe if you haven't yet. Feels great. If you want to hit that bell to figure out when we go live so we don't have to tell you every time, hey, that works too. As well as, the occasional video we post at least once or twice every week. If you wish to spread the good word of Tech for Thought, though, and spread the good word of the water cooler, we got a Twitter, tech_4_thought. And
You need to introduce yourself on the podcast as the Taco Bell from now on.
I am Matthew, the Taco Bell Garcia.
There we go. Thank you. All right.
Who are you?
I'm Taylor Evans, co-host, co-founder. Hello.
It's already off to a bad start. I like it.
I know. This is the most disjointed.
Oh yeah, we have an Instagram
Intro.
too. Instagram's at tech_4 spelled FOR_thought. It's going swimmingly so far, wouldn't you say?
I would say so, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you mean the Instagram or the podcast?
Podcast so
Oh,
far
yeah,
today.
this is fine. Yeah. Where is it? I must see. It's in the other room. No. No one.
What I'm gonna do is in the future with the future set, it just get like a cutout of the water cooler, like that guy had a cutout of the fridge,
Yeah,
put in the
exactly.
background.
Yeah. All right.
That'd be hilarious. All right,
Just
how have you
right.
doing this past week?
Oh, I forgot we do that little thing. I'm doing well. How are you?
Doing good. Any fun things going on?
Not really.
Have what about
not this
Metroid?
last week. Oh yeah, beat that.
Oh yeah, so that wasn't enjoyable apparently.
Oh no, it was. I was more concerned about like hardware stuff or like PC stuff. Sorry.
It's just like anything in your life, man.
Oh okay. No, yeah, Metroid Dread is really good. Everyone
Ding.
should go play it. Yeah.
All right, nice. I know we also started watching Squid Game there.
Yeah, that was fun. It's
Yeah.
really good.
2 episodes in, and it's actually really good.
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool. Well, as for myself, I've working, playing the occasional video as well as watching Squid Game, which was very good.
Yeah. New water cooler for your
Is AMD that bad?
Well, let's jump right into it.
Wonderful question you got there. Let me pull up the first thing here. With it, more specifically, it's not necessarily AMD as much as it is Windows, with their first window update making things even worse for AMD processors than they already have been. So, yeah, it is that bad.
Although
To
I
go,
don't think saying AMD themselves is that bad. It's more of like Microsoft is that bad.
yeah, they said they'd fix it by the end of October. There's still time though.
They said they'd fix it, but they broke it harder.
Facts. They just need to do what they did in reverse.
Exactly.
It's not that hard. Microsoft officially released the stable version of Windows 11 earlier this week. As it is common with the new software, there are several known issues on the initial build. On Tuesday, Microsoft rolled out a new build that addressed some of these issues. However, one of the more glaring bugs remains: poor performance on AMD Ryzen processors. And and the latest Windows update makes things even worse than before. As it stands, many AMD processors run slower on Windows 11, especially AMD processors that are affected by two problems: increased L3 cache latency and the preferred core not working correctly. And according to AMD's own investigation, the performance impact could be as high as 15% in some games. Whew! And with AMD officially confirmed the performance issue last week, it said the problem would be fixed in an upcoming Windows 11 update. Quite the contrary, the first Windows 11 patch had further worsened the performance issues. Have we upgraded to Windows 11 yet? I have not personally, because I have a Ryzen processor.
I have, because I have an Intel processor, and I was just like, YOLO. And honestly, I've already forgotten that I'm running Windows 11.
Fair enough.
Yeah, how about yourself? Anyway.
Yeah. I mean, any of you guys upgraded yet? Water cooler riot. I guess you'll riot today. It's already a riot, so I don't know what to expect. But according to Tech Power Up, the first cumulative update has further reduced the performance of AMD processors. The publication ran some tests on Ryzen 7 2700X Pinnacle Ridge processors, which show that L3 cache latency has nearly doubled after the patch. And before the patch, latency was in the vicinity of 17 nanoseconds. That's a big gap. But now it has jumped to 31.9 nanoseconds for reference. The latency was around 10 nanoseconds in Windows 10. Similarly, others have observed similar behavior when testing the Ryzen 5 5600G processor, recording a latency of 40 nanoseconds and 90 gigabytes per second read and write throughput. In comparison, the same system in L3 latency is 12.4 nanoseconds and read and write through is 378 gigabytes per second on Windows 10. Woo!
Yikes.
Raspberry does not upgrade for the same reason, because he has a Ryzen CPU, but also waiting for a water cooler before I update. Fair enough. It's important to stay hydrated, bro. Mostly peaceful writing commencing.
Okay.
Commence the peaceful protesting. But AMD says patches for the performance issues are ready and will be rolled out in the upcoming days. The L3 cache latency fix will arrive Windows Update channel on October 19th. Meanwhile, the patch for preferred cores will be released on October 21st. So
next week, everything should be fine.
Hopefully, by the end of next week is kind of the goal there.
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
Top water just doesn't cut it. You got a point.
Okay, can we stop talking about water for a second, please? Okay, so talking about the actual story. So I think this will help a lot, just because there are a lot of like tech reviewers in the space and whatnot who like have Ryzen on like their test benches and whatnot, and have been waiting to see or waiting for this to fix before they start doing benchmarks for Windows 11. So hopefully we'll get a better metric of gaming performance on Windows 11, which according to Microsoft should be better. And I think there was like a PC Mag or PC Gamer article I saw pop up earlier today that was like a 3080 was observed to have a bit better performance on Windows 11. So
can you actually, like, if you wanted to be that dude and file a class action lawsuit for lying about it because you have a Ryzen processor?
What do you mean?
Oh, it's the best gaming performance yet, and it's literally 50% lower in most cases.
Oh yeah, I don't know. I don't know how specific Microsoft got or what asterisks they tied it to. I'm sure it's like if you get into the small text and whatnot, then they said it's like on a specific system or with like certain system specs or on certain systems. So
it's a great flask. But yeah, I mean, honestly, it's kind of impressive how they've not only managed to mess it up on launch, but also make it worse.
Yeah.
If they get it done by the end of October, then cool. But I'm still not touching that update until anything happens. Not touching Windows 11 just yet.
I honestly wouldn't recommend it.
These comments are fucking great. Not having water with you.
Oh,
Shame.
my bottle's like
Chat,
farther from the
shame him.
room.
Shame him.
Oh my god.
Great.
Okay.
This is great. But I mean, outside of that, as an Intel user, how's your experience been so far?
Just fine. I've noticed little to no difference in anything. The only real okay, actually, the only real performance difference I've noticed is a little bit of a slowdown. Oftentimes, I might have a YouTube playing, like video playing as I'm like playing
Mm-hmm.
a game or something, and it's like that YouTube video gets really stuttery if I have a
Yeah.
game up and the YouTube video going. So
Just
that's
doesn't
the
seem like spread the love across the course.
no, it's like it just seems like so that's the biggest thing I've noticed with Windows 11 so far that I can say is an actual downgrade.
I mean, how about the Files Explorer? How does that feel?
It feels within File Explorer itself, it feels slightly faster, but I think that's just because like the animations have been tweaked a bit and look really nice. Windows search is still broken as all hell, and
Of course it is.
yeah, and also what was I gonna say? Never mind, I completely forgot. We're good.
Something about Windows 11 is taskbar, search features, anything about File
Gone.
Explorer. Have you touched the
Gone.
Touch Edge?
No,
Do you still have it centered on your screen?
the taskbar, yes.
Okay. Does it stretch it all the way across the bottom, or is it just like for the center portion, kind of like how Mac does it?
It can stretch. It's kind of like, what do you mean? Like under what circumstances?
By default.
By default, it's just the center portion.
Okay.
I mean, if you fill up your taskbar, it can stretch across the screen.
Yeah. I was wondering if it was. I guess the correct term is adaptive.
Yeah.
To
Is
how large.
Superfetch broken too? Yes, it is.
Yes, very much so. You seem a little parched. You should get some water.
No, I'm fine. I'm still finishing off my coffee here. Okay.
I'm just kind of so much fun with this. But I mean, it really sucks that Windows really butchered a launch like this.
And also a lot of the big features that Microsoft talked about at their reveal event, like the whole like Android app thing and whatnot, is not even there at launch.
Yeah.
So that's really annoying.
So I can launch Instagram now from it and just like make it work.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
That'd honestly be a lot easier to manage the Instagram account if I could just launch it and post something. Because I hate that you only can do it through the app.
Yeah, that's really stupid.
Yeah. One of the reasons why we don't use that too much now.
Yeah.
Fill up that taskbar like a bottle from the water cooler.
Oh, do you want? I remember what I was going to say. The right-click menus are horrible in Windows 11.
Okay.
Like by default. Yeah, that's absolutely horrible.
Did they have like too many subsections now?
They
Or just,
split
like,
off
lack?
all the options you actually want into one giant subsection at the bottom that
Called
takes
advanced.
a much longer. Yeah, or like more options or whatever.
Yeah.
So or show more features, and then it's like they've changed like copy paste and whatnot into little icons
Mm-hmm.
as well at the very top of it, and it's just I hate it.
So would you recommend would you recommend a Windows 11 upgrade?
Absolutely not.
Windows 10? You can
Yeah,
revert?
No, probably not. I won't revert, but
All right.
I won't revert because I'll just deal with it. I don't want to like go through the downgrade process. So, yeah,
Fair enough.
because I already got my hardware going for Windows 10 and whatnot, like enable TPM and whatnot and stuff like that. So,
You know what? It's I. Sorry, I just keep laughing at the chat. But with all of that, it's puzzling. I just wonder how many layers of Q8 had to pass to be able to get out like this.
let's see. There was a story a few years ago about Microsoft cutting their QA department.
That would probably do it.
Yeah, because they figured out around Windows 10 that it's like you could pretty much outsource. You can pretty much like outsource QA testing to users and pose it as a release, but things have to be beta for like a year, and then yeah, go from there. Loop Pate says I think it's just about getting used to it. I think yeah, to a certain extent, yes. It's like relearning, like right click menus and whatnot. Yeah, that does take some getting used to. It's just the at least to me, the icons didn't necessarily make intuitive sense for like copy and paste and whatnot, and so I don't always use hotkeys for it. So
Yeah. But
Sage also uses users to catch.
true. Uh, but I mean, it's more of the overall experience with it being several bugs upon launch, some that are literally performance limiting.
I mean, speak for yourself.
Yeah, but I would speak for myself on that rocking AMD processor. So yeah. But you know what else is kind of limited right now?
Crypto mining?
The crypto miners in China. You got it.
Yeah. All right. I guessed the transition.
You're correct, Raspberries. You did guess the correct one. To give you an idea now, the USA is now the world's leading Bitcoin mining country with more than 35% of Bitcoin network hash rate, while China reports zero Bitcoin mining activity for the first time ever.
I kind of wonder why no one's mining in Greenland. But anyway.
I mean, do they ever really interact with the world?
No.
Exactly.
Okay. Anyway.
Water coolers are very limited at the moment. If we ever get a merch store, the first thing we're gonna put there is a water cooler sticker.
Okay.
But specifically with this, it says according to smart individuals at Cambridge Center for Alternative Finance, who work hard to publish the Cambridge Bitcoin Electricity Consumption Index. Damn, that's a name. From the United Kingdom's University of Cambridge, as of October 21st, the USA is now the world's #1 Bitcoin mining country with an estimated 35.4% of overall Bitcoin network hash rate. Meanwhile, not so surprisingly, China is reporting a 0% share of Bitcoin network hash rate for the first time ever. But is there more to the data than meets the eye? Probably not.
No.
These again.
Oh my god. Okay, so yeah, this is off the heels of China in two separate instances the past couple of months cracking down on crypto mining, specifically Bitcoin, but just all crypto in general. So this does make sense, and China is definitely one of the only countries in the world with the power to enforce it as such to make it 0%. So, yeah.
And I wonder if anybody is illegally Bitcoin mining there.
It would maybe. I don't know. It would probably show up on the map, though.
Is it one of those cases where China's reporting it at 0, but it's not really 0?
No, I doubt it. In this instance, just because there can
Scarlet?
be a bit.
Okay, I have a doggo going crazy.
No, I would say it's just like China can very easily enforce it, so it's not unreasonable that it's absolutely 0 and whatnot. I'd be interested in seeing Taiwan data, because
that would be the interesting part.
Yeah, I'm also interested in seeing if there will randomly be the dog wants water. Okay.
What the dog doing?
I would also be interested in seeing if there's an effort to try and get the crypto that's kind of locked down in China out of it right now, and what sort of means would come about for that.
Probably government would seize it.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I expect to happen.
Yeah. It's also important to say that it's like this change or like trend didn't happen overnight and everything.
No.
It's just finally it got accelerated and spurred on by the things that China did. As far back as like April this year, I remember seeing stories that it's like when China had its first little crackdown on crypto earlier this year, lots of Chinese mining farms and like employees were moving to the U.S., specifically Texas.
Yep.
To shifted their farms there and whatnot. So I would be interested in seeing a like mining map like this and everything, like is in the article, and seeing like a state-by-state breakdown in the U.S., especially now that we're the biggest.
Yeah, I think Texas would probably be the biggest.
I would just go ahead and guess that right
also explains why they have the crippling power issues right now.
Yes.
They have their own power grid, which is kind of amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Scarlet wants the water cooler. You know what's funny? is with this. I wonder because the only way to like truly keep that information secure when it comes to like bitcoins and all that stuff is like a cold storage solution, right? That you have to
Yes.
like hard drive disconnected from everything.
Yeah.
How much do you think is like stored on cold storage like that could be transported to like the US, for example?
I would say quite a bit. Especially, I would say quite a bit, especially if I'm sorry, especially if it was a reasonable. Oh my god.
The
Just
chat.
reading chat. I'm sorry, I keep being distracted by chat. Um, yeah. So no, I would say in normal circumstances, quite a bit. Physical transportation of it is quite easy.
Mhm.
But I would say it's like if you were at it like a mass farm and everything, and we're using like local server hard drives or something to store like the
Mhm.
crypto on and whatnot. If you try to get that out of there, I would say Chinese customs is probably going to be pretty suspicious of that. So yeah, knowing China, they would probably audit the data on it, stuff like that. So,
Fun
and that's how you can
times.
probably see a lot of the cryptocurrency left out in China seized by the government.
Do you think they're gonna use it to try to save some of their industries there?
I wouldn't be surprised actually. I wouldn't be surprised if China keeps a lot of the crypto seized as a holding or liquidates it for
Yeah,
some cash to
to help bail
help
out
out.
some of the markets,
Yeah, it's
especially
like
that housing market.
yeah, I would like to see some estimations in value as well from
Be,
like how much they'd be able to seize.
since the stream has started, I've already drank 1 cup of water. Cheers for you, man. I'm about more than okay. It's about 2/3 through my thing right now.
LTTstore.com. I think he's abusing the water cooler.
LTD store.
Anyway.
Makes me think it's abusing the water cooler. Gosh. You know, with the Covenant of Scarlet, side tangent. With the Covenant of Scarlet and wanting the water cooler, there are actually like little water cooler trays that you can kind of get in terms of like there's a small like dish and whatnot, and you could put like a miniature 5 gallon jug on it, and as they drink it, it'll give them more water. My girlfriend has one for her cats, but you'll get one of
liquidates. Yeah.
need to get one of those for Scarlet so she could have a water cooler.
That'd be cute.
It'd be adorable.
Chloe, do you want a water cooler too? She's passed out my bed.
Stay hydrated.
Okay.
You know what's something that is completely irrelevant to the rest of this?
The water cooler.
Why, yes. But I was gonna say, with it, the spying scandals due to school-provided student laptops.
Yep.
Thanks to the good forum. Oh, come on, get there.
LTTstore.com.
There we go. I had to refresh it because it was taking forever to redirect. But thanks to the Linus Tech Tip forums, with it, the U.S. schools gave kids laptops during the pandemic, and then they spied on them. Surprised no one.
Right,
With it,
exactly.
according to one survey, 81% of teachers in America said their school monitors devices, and students are not always aware. With it, quoting something, says according to the recent research over at the Center of Democracy and Technology, or CDT, 86%.
That's dangerously close to another acronym.
Right. 86% of teachers reported that during the pandemic, school provides tablets, laptops, or Chromebooks to students at twice the rate, which is 43% prior to the pandemic. And an illustration of schools' attempt to close disparities of digital access. The problem is that a lot of electronics were being used to monitor students, even combing through the private chats, emails, and documents of all in the name of protecting them. More than 80% of surveyed teachers and 70% or 77% of surveyed high school students told the CDT that their school uses surveillance software on those devices, and more reliant students are on those electronics. I'm not trying to pronounce that. Reliant,
yeah.
Okay. I don't know. My brain just wasn't reading right now. But unable to afford supplementary phones or tablets, the more they are subject to scrutiny. Thousands of school districts across the U.S. have installed surveillance software on school-provided devices to monitor their students' online interactions. If a student emails or chats with another student saying they've been thinking of hurting themselves or that they're in trouble at home, an AI bot would or a human moderator watching over the messages in real time send an alert to the teacher or administrator, allowing the teacher to jump in within minutes and ask if everything's okay. It's not clear whether students are going to benefit from the surveillance or whether it's merely going to reduce schools' liability when the act of violence of self-harm takes place. If teens are in need of help, it seems obvious that the best way to protect them is to ensure that they've trusted adults in their lives that they can turn to. A snooping AI is not a substitute for that.
Yeah.
It's the usual, if something is free, you are the product type of thing. Very true.
Yeah, exactly.
It's CDT, but yes, sure, CVT. I mean, what are your thoughts on the surveillance here?
I mean, I just feel super vindicated because this has been one of my concerns for years, ever since schools have had like the laptop programs out to like needier students, which have only increased even without the pandemic going on, like the years leading up to it. Because a lot of research, a lot of like technology research was actually fusing with sociology a little bit the past few years to talk about how it's like internet access is still surprisingly hard to come by for like 25% of students in the US and whatnot. So it's like with more and more like schooling being online, then it's like that was a concern.
Mm-hmm.
So this has definitely been a concern for several years, and now this is just kind of proven correctly, I should say. But also I think it's like, in case it isn't obvious, people need to be more aware that it's like whatever you do on like even at a university level, whatever you do on like your school's like internet and whatnot, even if it's your own device, is very much tracked and locked down and everything, which is why devices used in dorms are horrible for privacy.
Oh, extremely.
Like absolutely horrible for privacy. I never connected my phone to my university's or my school's Wi-Fi for that specific reason as well, and people always thought I was crazy, but I was just like, I'm not crazy.
They have you sign in with your ID. They know exactly your IP and who you are as well.
Right, exactly. And also I even went a little bit further because I wasn't too sure. I wasn't too sure. It's like what sort of tracking it's like the university's website from like site to site would do in terms of cookies and whatnot.
Yeah.
So it's like I always kind of used a different browser to do all of my university stuff. So there's that too. And I don't know. It does suck that you have to go to that level of stuff because you already pay these institutions tons of money. But of course, if there is money to be made in any certain way, then they will get you.
I also find it kind of disappointing that it shows the level of teaching has gone down in the U.S. by the fact that teachers are having to rely on AI to be able to ensure that their students are okay, instead of being proper on that front and interacting with them and understanding what's going on in their life. That's kind of sad there with our current state of education. Do you know what can't spy on you? A water cooler. Well, do you change the search engine too? That would probably be a yes, I would assume.
Yes, and so I'm about to type this in chat. I said it's like I used for my university work. I used Firefox with a bunch of like privacy plugins, like a cookie auto delete, HTTPS everywhere, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Ad blocker, of course. As well as like use DuckDuckGo for university work. So.
Did you ever use the university provided Google Docs for your documents?
No, I never did.
You use personal Google Docs for that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I kept it. It's because I already had like my own little like cloud infrastructure, so to speak. It's just like, although for many students, even when I started university in 2016, it's just like that whole thing was like a new concept to them and whatnot. And even high school was a new concept, but it's like, no, I was already like really familiar with how to use Google Docs and whatnot, so I didn't need the university to like do anything for me. Use their own storage. So there's that.
Yeah, when I was there, I used the given linked Google Docs associated with my email.
Oh, okay.
Just made it easier to access all of it.
I also had my university emails forwarded to a personal encrypted email address.
And they ain't risking shit, huh?
Yeah, pretty much. It was just like, it's just like I instantly saw all the possibilities for, when I want to flex on the normies, I use command line to watch YouTube.
Yes, that's
that's pretty
balling.
good.
That's straight balling right there.
Yeah, that's really good.
Do you ever copy it in from the YouTube and post it in VLC so you don't have to use the browser?
No, I don't go quite that far.
That's one way to do it.
Yeah. Although when I had to take biology lab, I would preload my laptop with videos to watch or something because we'd usually get it's like a 3-hour lab, and eventually it's just like the university got tired of us like the TA running the lab letting us out early because we would be finished early, mostly because the TA would get bored and do like most of the prep work for everyone. And so
Stay hydrated.
And so it's just like Wi-Fi and like cell reception was horrifically bad down there. So it's like I've been known to preload my laptop with like YouTube videos to watch during that.
Don't just play like League on your laptop like a normal person.
Well, as I said, Wi-Fi was horrible.
Fair enough.
Down there. Yeah.
Oh, was it in one of the basements?
Yeah.
Wi-Fi. Oh, okay, I know where you're talking about then. I had a similar thing with my physics class, but I was in the second story, so it wasn't as bad.
Gotcha. Yeah. You know what helps with hydration? No, Quantum. Why don't you tell me? Yeah. If you really want to impress, or if you really want to blow Normie's mind, run like a Arc install, an Arc Linux install on your laptop.
That would require you running Linux.
I know.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Also true.
Water coolers. We're gonna make water cooler stickers one day.
That'll be our first merch product. Will be water cooler stickers.
Water cooler stickers. We need to get a Tag for Thought branded water coolers. It's important to stay hydrated.
Those would be horrible in terms of margins made off those, but anyway.
But you know what's also important to know that's kind of relevant to our previous topics is how upcoming Intel GPUs won't have
I wasn't done yet.
Oh.
Yeah. I guess
go for it. Tell me about the quesadillas.
No, it's like outside of the other like hardware stuff. Outside the hardware stuff is just like big thing too is like what's everyone been using the past year for everything? Zoom, you know? It's like one of the things that bothered me the most about the pandemic in all honesty was the fact that it's just like millions of universities or probably billions of students across the world were all forced into using this pretty much this horribly invasive like software just to go to school and whatnot, be it Zoom or like the test proctoring software, etc.
Yeah, I've never had to deal with Zoom personally because I was not in college during the time, and for my work we use a Cisco branded thing, surprise to nobody.
The WebEx or whatever, web presence.
WebEx specifically.
Okay. Yeah.
They've made several updates to it since we've been home, so they've been really cranking out on that. I like making quesadillas without cheese.
Okay.
That's pulling it up, huh? A little bit of a bless you.
Thank you. I don't want to talk about it. See, I actually muted my mic before sneezing.
I muted it the second time, at least for the stream. I didn't mute it for you because that's two different buttons, and I couldn't do that enough in time.
That's one thing I'm actually looking forward to with my new XLR mixer coming in is I have a mute button on it.
Oh, so you just can't like switch it off. I have to wait for the tubes to reheat.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, if you're not going to be using your current XLR mixer, maybe I'd finally invest in getting an XLR mic.
Okay.
Get that really nice Rode one, the Rode ribbon mic.
Yeah.
Matt was too busy hydrating to mute the sneeze. That's true, and I do apologize for it.
When I made quesadillas without cheese, I was here Taylor stream. It's all wrong.
It's all wrong.
All right.
Oh, that's something else you've been up to. You've been playing Trauma Center.
Yes, I've been replaying through the Trauma Center franchise using emulators, and I'm okay saying that because I own all the games that I've been playing on emulators. So, yeah.
Dead game series.
Very dead game series. You are correct.
See, it's been
10, 11 years.
They've had 4 games, right?
Yes.
See, what Alice needs to do is just make a knockout 5th game like they did with Persona 5.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
Although I don't think people had to wait 10 years for Persona 5.
They did have to wait a while. It was like somewhere around 7 or 8.
Oh, okay.
Somebody message Sean. He'll know.
Yeah. Okay.
Or somebody could Google it.
Let's see. Hold on.
Am I cool
Persona
moving on to the next subject? Those gamers are
Yeah.
less supported than water coolers are.
2008.
Are you looking it up?
Yeah. It was 8 years in between
8 years.
Persona 4 and Persona
Yeah.
5.
Yeah,
Okay.
so that's been a while.
Not counting like Golden or Royal or anything like that, just like base games.
Yeah, base games.
Yeah. Okay. So you know what? It's been 10 years. Maybe it can still happen.
Maybe. Can I move on to the next topic now?
Yes, I'm sorry. I just wanted to get a little blurb about Zoom in there.
All right, with this next topic here, specifically Intel Arc GPUs, as I've stated before, will be shipping without cryptocurrency mining limitations, so they will not have those hash rate limiters. But with it, in a recent interview with Gadget 360, Intel senior VP, not gonna try, an Intel graphics product team member spoke about the incoming Arc GPUs.
Raja Koduri and Roger Chandler.
Thank you.
Yes.
Upcoming Arc GPUs due to early 2022. In the interview, Chandler talked about Intel's stance on cryptocurrency mining and its upcoming GPUs. It seems that Intel are following a path of no intervention, letting the market and buyers decide what they use their graphics cards for.
Full libertarian mode. I like it.
Balls to the wall. Like it.
Yeah.
In the interview, Chandler stated that as far as the software lockouts and things of that nature, we're not designing this product to or building any features at this point that specifically target miners. As far as actions that we're taking to avoid or locking them out, it's a product that will be in the market and people will be able to buy it. It's not a priority for us. And this signals a stance that's similar to AMD, who hasn't imposed any limitations on what workloads users can perform on their graphics cards. This is different to their artificial product segmentation that Nvidia is elected to do with their cryptocurrency mining processors, or CMP, more like CBT. A series of GPUs alongside with their introduction of hash rate limitations in the company's imposed LHR or light hash rate GeForce products. So, before we read much further, what do you think of their stance?
Oh, you know, I do respect Intel for being like, okay, past the point of view buying the GPU, we don't really care.
Yeah.
I appreciate the unapologetic, like, corporate mode that is pretty much.
I like it too, just the whole, we made the product, it's up to you what you do with it.
It's like, if you like the product, buy the product, and then we're done. Yeah.
Like water coolers, you like the product, you buy the product.
Exactly. So, no, I do definitely respect, like, Intel just being, like, hands-off approach with it.
I do like the product.
And I think, in case you needed any more proof, it does definitely prove that it's like Nvidia purely limited the hash rates on their GPUs, not to like, oh, we want to get in the hands of gamers or whatever excuse they had, like PR cook-up and everything. It was purely just to sell, the specific hash rate GPUs that they were, the CPRs or whatever.
Usually associate corporatism with water coolers. I would like an explanation on that one. I just like the product.
It's like the office culture, like water cooler conversation.
True.
That whole term. Yeah.
We continue reading the article a little bit on this. It says both approaches have their own drawbacks, but it seems that Intel doesn't think it's the place to police what kind of workloads users get access to on their GPUs, which, depending on how performance and power efficient Intel GPUs are, could pique a miner's interest in the Arc Alchemist products when they finally hit the market. And speaking of current market conditions and supply expectations, Intel graphics head Raja Koduri stated that the companies can't really forecast the full details of how availability will pan out when Arc Alchemist actually hits the market, but was quick to point out that neither could AMD or Nvidia. True. And as
it's like, we don't have any idea, but nobody else has any idea either, so it's okay.
Yeah. But as Mr. Kodori put it, we'll be coming in as a third player, and I've always been very cautious when the demand is so high and when the market is so hard. I can always use more supply, so I'm not going to say I have enough supply in the high demand market. Hey, he called it a high demand market. Correct annotations there. I think every one of my competitors will say the same thing right now. We still have no idea of how Intel's entry into the market will impact availability supply between the three players, as Intel has contracted TSMC to manufacture its GPUs on the 6nm process, and eventually fighting for the same overall amount of wafers as both AMD and Nvidia.
Well, no, Nvidia uses Samsung though.
Uh, is Nvidia transitioning to 5nm this time around?
Uh, I think so. I think they're working on it. But yeah, AMD is using Samsung Foundry's process now. They got off TSMC.
Oh, do you mean AMD or Nvidia?
I'm sorry, Nvidia. I meant
Okay.
Nvidia has transitioned to Samsung Foundries. It's weird that Tom's hardware would make that mistake.
Pull it up. I'm trying to find an article right now. With it, thanks to, let's just use this article for example. No thanks. Nvidia and Qualcomm will use TSMC's 5nm and 3nm nodes for 2022.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So they are correct on that front.
Okay, gotcha.
With the reporting looked like a great year again in 2022 with both Nvidia and Qualcomm returning to TSMC's cutting edge process.
Okay.
And we both saw Nvidia and Qualcomm make the jump to Samsung recently with Nvidia's Ampere GPUs and also Qualcomm's flagship Snapdragon 888, manufactured by Samsung. Business is apparently so good at TSMC that they're not only having their existing 7nm and 5nm modes fully booked, the production capacity through upcoming 3nm nodes also have been fully snapped up. Okay, so they were at Samsung, but they went back.
Okay, yes. Okay, I didn't know they were going to start going back to TSMC for that.
Good to know there.
Yeah.
When you work in an office, you go to the water coolers. Ergo, the water cooler is the heart of corporation. Fair enough there.
That was exactly my point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With it, NEG's on a Quantum's on a water cooler break right now, going to fill up some water. To be fair, I'm almost done with my water right now. How you looking, Taylor?
I'm done with my coffee.
How's your water looking?
Like a third of the way full back there.
That's some good stuff.
Okay.
But are you surprised that Nvidia went back?
No, not really. In all honesty, I think
coffee ain't water.
Yeah. I think TSMC definitely has their hands full though now.
Oh yeah. Those because they're the amount of that they're investing into expansion is going to definitely pay off within the next couple of years for them.
Yeah. I disagree with it from a logistical standpoint, though, just because I don't think so many
too many eggs in one basket.
Yeah, it's like so many crucial things should all be done by TSMC. So it would have been cool if Nvidia stuck with Samsung here. You know.
I mean, Nvidia has ARM now. Why don't they use them?
I don't think ARM has its own foundries, does it?
It's a good question. Let's Google that.
Okay, yeah. ARM expands foundry program with TSMC. Okay.
Yeah, so they do. I was about to say, I found the same thing.
Yeah.
You know what I got to go with my water? Some cookies. Chick-fil-A original chicken sandwich with extra pickles and a Chick-fil-A sauce. Dang, I'm wanting Chick-fil-A now.
Same.
We'll get that after. Hopefully a cooler.
Oh my god.
Welcome back, NAG. I mean, it is kind of...
wait, no, hold on.
What?
ARM Holdings does not manufacture its own chips. They use TSMC as well.
Oh.
The ARM Foundry thing we were reading talks about licensing the ARM technology out to TSMC to manufacture. So, I was right. I don't think... Yeah, ARM doesn't have its own foundries. My point stands. It's like... As much as like I appreciate TSMC and whatnot, and
then making up 95% of the market.
Yeah, maybe this isn't healthy. Maybe this isn't good.
I do have cookies too. I knew I was right. But Because I know Intel at least has their own foundries. Samsung has their own foundries.
Mhm.
Who do you think would be next if they were to?
They were to make their own foundries.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm trying to think here. I would say the next big global like foundry player will probably be a Chinese foundry person.
Okay, that's fair.
Will probably be a Chinese brand.
How about between? Oh, I was gonna say between Nvidia and AMD, but TSMC used to be part of AMD, so that's a little
Kind of
different.
obvious.
A little different there.
Yeah,
The Foundry was a
Foundry-
good map in Halo 3. Very true.
that is correct. Yeah.
Not as good as this
Okay.
water though.
Oh my god.
What else do we have in news? Let me
we got one
switch
more.
back. Oh yeah, Twitter.
Twitch.
Oh, Twitch. I don't know why my mind went to Twitter.
Mind of the dark.
But with it recently, I know Twitch has had a rather massive leak as of recent. Kind of spilled the
Yeah.
beans on a lot of the 1% top earners.
Yeah, we
Par-
didn't talk about it, but this was a big story earlier this month where it's like literally all of Twitch pretty much leaked out on a GitHub.
Yeah. And I guess it was surprised when people found out they were donating to millionaires.
Yeah, I don't understand people's. Well, okay, so I guess it's like one thing that came up was like Hassan or whatever, sells shirts that say like "tax the rich" or whatever, and he makes like 700,000 a month, and so people were kind of upset. But it's like also people were surprised at that. More to your point, it's like people were surprised about any of these earnings. Like, it came as no surprise to me that like Pokimane makes 300,000 a month. It's like, yeah, she's
Subscriber numbers are
incredibly
real, and everybody can stream and have access to that info, so it's not hard to do conversions.
Right, exactly. And it's like you can get watch like a week's worth of streams, you can get a rough average of donations, and then just start factoring that,
Yeah.
And so it's like, this shouldn't be any surprise that, popular Twitch streamers are quite wealthy individuals, so I don't know why people were upset.
Twitch corporate was too busy drinking fresh water out of the water cooler to put money into security.
Yeah.
But also what else leaked with this is the Twitch source code.
Yeah.
So people can build their own Twitch if they wanted.
Not that you would, because that player is ass.
Well, not only that, but a streaming platform like this is not profitable.
No, it's not.
YouTube, Twitch, they are not made to be used like sustain themselves. They need a partner. The best thing that they do is turn out technology, because it's still like
derivative technology and pretty much community goodwill.
Yeah.
Nothing in the Twitch leak was very surprising. Yeah, exactly. There was not.
No.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be surprising, but with it as well, like even with like say YouTube for example, like the whole big thing behind YouTube is also how their backend is so well organized in terms of making sure everybody gets the correct stuff and whatnot, at a very fast rate too with their compression. But even if that source code leak, which is like still considered quite the holy grail among streaming platforms or on that front or video providers, people still aren't going to make a YouTube.
Right, exactly.
It's just way too much, and it's not worth it.
Right. Yeah.
I mean,
so it's fascinating insight, but overall pretty useless. In all honesty. Yeah.
I mean, you could steal bits from it if you wanted, and it's kind of interesting to look into it and see like the inner machinations of Twitch's mind. But
oh, hold on. There was actually one interesting thing from the Twitch leak, I should say. There were references to this thing called like Vapor. Or whatever.
Yes. It's
like
called
a Steam
Vapor,
competitor, basically.
which I find hilarious.
Yeah. That's really close to Steam.
It's a little too on the nose, and not only that, but it was just the naming scheme about vape and whatnot.
Yeah.
Very, very poor choice.
And they refer to like the community that would use it as like Vape Nation, and it's like, are you kidding me?
Vape Nation. Did they do that? I think. Yeah. I only care about the inner machinations of water coolers. That's fair.
Okay.
Give a water cooler breakdown one day. How that works.
Ain't that the video this week? Is like, how does your water cooler work?
we tear it down and take a look inside. Yeah. You want to do that?
No.
Oh, you forget. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, most people kind of forgot about this, except the people that were offended to the fact that they donate to millionaires.
I know.
That part was kind of amazing to me.
Yeah, I don't get it. Anyway,
Hey, I don't know. I don't know, man. People are just as insightful, I guess. Uh, but I mean, okay. To be fair, average person pays for porn, so
that is true.
that's
Only
the benchmarks. Screw magnets, freaking water coolers. How do they work? That would be the title of the video. But in this specific article, Twitch states that user passwords were not compromised in the huge data leak. Surprising, honestly. But in early October, pretty much the entirety of Twitch was hacked and leaked onto the internet. Apparently, passwords were not included, though. And that's why Twitch says, anyways, the streaming site it issued an update on Friday in the aftermath of the big hack, saying that user passwords, credit cards, and banking info were not accessed by hackers. Those are basically the only things that were left out, and everything from Twitch and Twitch's entire source code to payout reports for the top Twitch creators from 2019 to present was laid bare for all to see.
And surprise, surprise, they have a ton of money.
Not surprised to no one. Twitch did say a small fraction of users were impacted by the data that got out there, and the company will contact those people directly. You'd be forgiven for looking at this and thinking that to yourself, why? I'm fine. But that'd be a short-sighted view of things. Sure, your Twitch info may not have gotten compromised this time, but that doesn't mean it won't in the future. Allows us to issue a friendly reminder to 1, change your password anyways, and 2, to enable two-factor authentication on any website where it stores any personal information of any kind. Twitch has a handy support page explaining exactly how to do that.
Unless the company themselves doxes you like E3, and then in which case you can't do much about that.
The hacker man 4chan is really good at hacking. 4chan strikes it again.
You know.
One disgruntled employee by the name of Samuel Hyde leaked information.
I was going to say, it's like, this definitely... How does he keep getting away with it? No, I will say it's like, all joking aside, the Twitch thing does seem like an inside job. So...
Very much so.
I heard 4chan hacking your water coolers. Oh, he must be stopped.
The day my water cooler is hooked up to the Wi-Fi is the day I'll keep a gun right by it just in case it makes a weird noise, so I need to shoot it.
Wait, you don't do that already?
I don't have a water cooler.
Oh, bruh.
My mom can't lift ones, the 5-gallon jug, so.
Okay. No way, that isn't here in my cooler. Yeah.
I love
I'm
this
just waiting
stream.
for, it's like, how we have smart fridges. There'll be a smart water cooler.
They can't energy. They make them all hot water. That's pretty good.
Horrible.
All right. But that's kind of the news this time around. Was there any other exciting things or kind of off-topic news you wanted to talk about?
No, not really. Let's say. Oh, actually, this came to mind. So Apple in the Apple versus Epic case has appealed the ruling, and so it's like the ruling gets suspended while it goes through the appeals process, which takes a process of years. So unless Apple decides to, or Epic decide to like drop things or something, then it's like Fortnite will remain off of iOS and like the App Store and whatnot for a number of years until the appeals works out.
That is kind of hilarious.
Yeah. And then, I don't know, I saw Tim Sweeney bitchy on Twitter about it, and I was just like, this is entirely your fault. You understand that, right? Like...
Do you think at this point he's in the sunk cost fallacy where, like, he can't turn back now?
I think so, but if I was on the board of directors, I'd be voting pretty quick to remove this guy as CEO. Just because it's like, okay, his 12-year-old libertarian rants on Twitter are not super conducive to company profits, so...
I mean, Fortnite still is selling like mad, so
I know, but the fact
you gotta get that Naruto skin, my man.
But one thing that it's like investors sell like tech companies on, or like tech companies sell investors on so much, especially with like investment firms and whatnot, that they sell investors on for like rounds of funding for tech companies and startups, is growth over time. And so not being on one of the world's biggest like platforms, then it's like that hurts the growth numbers. So
Yeah.
yeah. We like Fortnite. We like Fortnite.
No, you don't. That's
But
a
yeah,
lie.
it's like it's entirely Tim Sweeney's fault. You know, it is. Yeah.
Yeah. He's got some energy to him.
Yeah, and I really just don't have any sympathy for him.
I played Fortnite again if they had a water cooler axe.
Do they not at this point? I'm kind of surprised.
What they don't have
What
is
is-
on the very
yeah,
short
what-
list.
Isn't in Fortnite at this point, you know?
You have Ariana Grande fight Naruto.
It's the crossover we didn't know we needed or wanted.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, I don't know. It's just brought that up because we talked about the Epic versus Apple stuff before here.
We talk about a good chunk of that type of stuff. I mean, it is interesting to see how they've Apple's kind of used that to their advantage, to put it one way, in terms of challenging the ruling.
Uh huh.
We need
We
to
play Fortnite on a water cooler with the water cooler axe.
Okay,
Yes.
if Fortnite got a water cooler axe, I'll stream playing it. How about that?
Oh god.
I need to get a water cooler cut out now.
Right, exactly. I'll have one as a prop for the background of the podcast.
Yeah. Actually, if we ever got like a studio and whatnot, it wouldn't be a prop; it'd be a real thing. So I can make sure to fill up my water because I am almost out.
Okay.
How much water have you drank this podcast, Taylor?
None? I've had my coffee.
Shame.
Okay.
Topped off. Done. It's empty.
Beautiful.
Well, I think that kind of does it for the news topics. It's been kind of slow on that front. I talked to what I wanted to about the Microsoft stuff because that was just absolutely hilarious.
I know. It's like it got worse.
Good man, Matt, drinking water. Yes. Shame. Shame. Shame.
Shame. It's fine.
You'll have to make up for it next time.
Yeah, apparently. Poor host.
What Discord? How are you liking the blurred background thing? You think it's working well? Does a good
I
enough
seriously
job?
need to. It does okay. Yeah, it'd be better if I had. I need next time I visit my mom and everything. I need to swap her webcam with this one because I gave her like the really nice like C922 streaming webcam, so it has like better like foreground and background detection and whatnot.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah, mine is just the standard C920, I think.
yeah, same, and it does okay. But you know the performance
Hey.
of the C922 is great.
That's true, but as long as you get your lighting right, like right now, it looks good. Got the nice soft front shadow, got a little bit of a edge and whatnot, got the backlit light with the warm light there.
Mhm.
Looks good. Looks professional, kind of. Depth of field camera. Yeah, that's true. What I think that kind of starts to wrap it up there. Any final comments from the the chat they want to say before we go? Don't
Don't use the blurred background. Just have the water cooler in the background, and it would be perfect. I guess that's how we do the podcast. I'll just like do it off my laptop from the table out in the dining room.
Well, you could
and
just,
so-
you could hook up your webcam that way through a USB port.
yeah, exactly.
And you use a Yeti there too.
Oh god. Yeah.
Oh my god. Water cooler is going to be our thing apparently. I'm gonna have
Yes.
on our banner for our YouTube page. I should have Sean edit in a water cooler. It's a nice little small one, like in a corner or something.
Little inside joke. I never knew those chairs came in green. Yes. DS racers do. Well, unblur the background, I guess now. But
You've been exposed.
yeah, exactly. Yes. Although this is a fairly old model. This is like 6 years old at this point. So
No, that's older than that.
no, got in 2015.
I
Wait,
thought-
no, you're right. It is older than.
I was
yeah.
going to say I knew you
No,
had that
it's
chair in
7.
high school.
Yeah. Okay. It's like 7. It's like 7 years old now. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Try to slip one by me. Well, yeah.
the
DX race.
original time frame I said would have still put me in high school.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. But yeah, okay. I don't know if they come in green anymore. I don't know. I haven't looked at DS Racer stuff in a while.
Neither
The
have
only
I.
like chair that I'm remotely interested in is like Razer is doing a collab with their gaming chair in Genshin Impact.
The other one I'm interested in terms of a next chair, would be the Herman Miller Logitech one.
Yeah.
That one looks nice. Thailand's exposed. Very true. That
Yeah.
Herman Miller one, it'd be nice, but the issue is that's like $1,500.
It is well worth it though.
I could put it on a credit card and pay it off over some time though with a 0% promotion.
Yeah, let's see. Yeah, they no longer. It looks like I'm looking at the. So this is a racing series chair and whatnot.
Yeah.
From DS Racer. It looks like they do not do the whole, like, green and black ones. Man, they really streamlined their colors for this.
Yeah.
Lately. Oh, that's the Legacy series. Got it. Okay.
And you had that chair when you had the old. Actually, you could see your old case in the background there.
Yeah, exactly.
The one with the flip up power switch or reset switch.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's like that's the C70 Vengeance from Corsair, which they still sell 9 years later, and it is still a really good case.
We
in
pull
all
up
honesty.
an image of it.
Yeah,
It straight up looked like it was government issued.
yeah, it does.
Like this thing is. If you didn't tell me that Corsair sold this to consumers, I would have been convinced this is a military contract issued.
Right.
Oh, apparently they make like a white or silver version.
Yes, that's the like I think they call it like Ammo Bots Green or like Army Green or something.
Master
like that,
Chief
so-
Green.
No, not quite, but
Pretty much.
it does match.
All right. Shall we start wrapping up the stream?
Oh yeah, I think we can.
You want to put your face back in frame?
Yeah, sorry, I was looking at the Razer chair with Paimon on it.
The Genshin one.
Yeah, it looks really good.
It does. But
Anyway,
does Corsair sell water coolers? They sell AIOs. And you could drink the
Yes.
water out there if you want.
I would not recommend that.
You do you, boo. But with it, as we wrap it up here, of course, we do thank you for watching. And if you think we have earned it, go and hit that subscribe button. We really do appreciate it. Not only that, if you want to make sure you get notified when we go live, as well as whenever our videos are published for you guys, that would be a perfect thing to do as well. But if you wish to spread the good word of Tech for Thought, as well as to spread the good word of the Hydro homies,
I will be sure to.
Sure to what?
Man, be sure to have ample water supply next time.
Good. But with our Twitter, as I was getting to, was the at tech_4 the number 4, that is _thought. Instagram's at tech_4, spelled FOR_thought. Try to make sure to use that on our Instagram. I'm just gonna post a lone image of the water cooler. Stay hydrated. Bully.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Perfect. Well, with that, I think we're all set this week. Any last things you want to say?
Oh yeah, sorry. Go ahead and follow me on Twitter. It's mostly anime on my personal Twitter account at INFERIUS7809. And thank you everyone else in the chat that came to talk to us today. So
Who is everyone else? Everyone else outside of Raspberries and Quantum?
no, I shouldn't have added the qualifier else there. I'm sorry. Yeah. No, I'm sorry. I mean like
Fuck
everyone
those
else.
people.
Everyone else besides us in the chat, I should say.
More accurately, good stream.
Yeah.
Good stream.
Thank
Water
you.
cooler.
Yes. It was not a boomer stream for once,
But it was a water coolerless stream.
unfortunately.
And that's the
You
true
want-
travesty.
I'll fix it next week, okay?
You got space back there between your nightstand and your table there.
You know, that's actually not a bad idea.
Easy, bro.
But then the
Easy.
water cooler wouldn't be
Just
accessible to other people.
Get a second one.
Oh shit, you're right. All right.
Always
yeah,
good to
well,
stay hydrated.
Exactly. Okay.
All right. Well, with that,
Thank you all so much for watching.
Thank you guys for watching and staying hydrated with us. I finished off my canteen, and we do hope that you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. See ya.
Bye.